you to say why you wanted to rear me as a black person and not a biracial person.
The world sees my family as sees all interracial people as black. In order for you to survive with credibility and expertise, you need to understand that the world sees you as black, so you must get used to that definition because it's going to be carried with you wherever you go. When people see other people, the first thing they see is color.
Hi, I'm Moses. Thank you for listening to or downloading this broadcast wherever you're at, whenever you're at, whether you're listening One Drop of Lopes on IntellectualRadio.com, Facebook, YouTube, or any other available 3 audio apps on iHeart speakers or iTunes. One Drop of Lopes can be heard as a live every Sunday at 12 noon Central. For unaware listeners, One Drop of Lope is not just a entertaining radio show. It is a model on every show educates and equips our people to utilize their gifts in constructive manners. Therefore, One Drop of Lopes will be a collective archive of black folk who are actively doing their part to pursue justice via a wide array of perspectives, discussions, and presentations. Chief sponsor for One Drop of Lopes is Benita's Homemade Things. Email Benita at benita@gmail.com to place in the order for more information. How you guys doing? How y'all doing?
I'm doing well, Moses.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. I think it's gonna be a good show today. So if you guys want to go and get yourself some popcorn, if anybody's listening at all,
Hurry up, go run and get your popcorn now.
you go microwave your popcorn and some pizza or whatever you got to eat. Because I got none. I'm starving.
So it's all about you and your stomach, Moses.
No.
So why is the show gonna be so good today? What are we gonna talk about?
We're gonna talk about bullying, and if we might do it, I did want to talk about are how good video games might be good for you.
Okay.
Like the good things that video games provide.
Why would it be okay for parents to let their children play video games?
Well, there's multiple reasons. Video games do help you with dyslexia to read or write, because when you pick up video games, you have to learn these instructions, or you have to be able to read or visual instructions or audio instructions to do stuff. And it also does help you with and I'm pretty sure if you stop playing video games, your sportsmanship will go down. And there's lots of great things. Trying to remember. Some people say, like, some scientists say that if you stop playing video games, your physical, you wouldn't lack desire for physical, because people who play WWE or maybe some games that are sports or that are other related sports games, some people would like to encourage them to go outside and actually do something. Other things that video games are is like, to a lot of reasons that I can't remember, because I did do a whole paper on it, but I did it on the wrong subject, so I could bring it back another time, or maybe next show.
But from what you can remember, it helps to decrease dyslexia.
Yeah, it helps to decrease dyslexia.
Or concerns about that because of the hand-eye coordination that you have to have.
Oh yeah, you also do increase your hand or eye coordination. You wouldn't have much hand-eye coordination.
And then it also increases your desire to participate in other sports.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable calling video gaming a sport, though, so maybe I shouldn't have said other sports.
There's like Just Dance, and it's like some people actually be playing Just Dance for maybe a long time. They might actually be using their legs and stuff, and they might actually maybe lose weight, or they could be like Wii Sports.
So there is some gaming, for instance, like the Wii.
Yeah, the Wii or uh other games like Xbox might help you with hand-eye coordination or
So we got hand-eye coordination. Some games actually can get you up off your feet and doing some athletic
yeah.
things
It
like Just
not
Dance or
all the time
sports.
with every person because there would be some person that will be too lazy and just play games.
Like the kind of games where you sit down and just work your fingers.
Yeah. But stuff that will be like we might actually do get you off your feet.
I remember a bowling game, a tennis game,
Yeah, we did have a lot of games.
even a rowing, like a rowing thing, and it was really, it put in that extra. Like afterwards, you was feeling it in your arms.
Some stuff like if that is possible, I'm pretty sure some people might have learned some stuff from Wii in bowling or uh physical stuff.
Okay, and then also you said it'll help to increase your desire to be in other activities such as sports, like
Yeah. It also
football, basketball.
playing games was told to increase your sportsmanship.
Oh, increase your sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about this when it comes to video games? Because I kind of think that this might be helpful too. Is I see you play a lot of games that you have to have a mind in order to play it. So do you think that there are some games that it sharpens your mind?
Yeah.
Or is it okay? Tell us about.
Well, some games like I've learned some history from Assassin's Creed, and there's also other games like that will actually teach you real life stuff or history. Because there's Assassin's Creed will teach you history sometimes. And I've watched a YouTube video on one of these, and I looked down the comments, and there's this person said, "I learned more history in Assassin's Creed than ever in uh, history class." So I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Hopefully, it's the right history and they're
Yeah.
not lying to you all.
Yeah, that's what I hope too. And I can't remember what was the question.
The question is about your mind. Like, does it increase your mind? Does it help you to be smarter? Does it help you improve, or is it dumbing you down?
It's not dumbing you down. Depends on what game you're gonna play. If it dumbs you down.
For instance, I remember you were playing this game called Fallout 4.
Oh, Fallout 4 could help you in survival. And Fallout 4, some of it might dumb you down, but I don't believe all of it.
Okay.
It's very hard to think about Fallout 4 because Fallout 4 is based on nuclear apocalypse, which actually can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And there are puzzle games which count, like Blitz or Candy Crush, or like that game where you have to stack those blocks on top of each other that just fall down to like do random shapes and you stack them on top of each other.
No, I know it's Tetris.
Yeah, Tetris. And there's lots of other games. Trying to think.
What about Minecraft? What is that building within your mind, and when you play that?
Minecraft can be used. Some people, actual builders from real life, could use Minecraft to plan out or 3D blueprints. Some people do that, and some people would use Minecraft for 3D blueprints to see, and others would use Minecraft for thinking what survival that you would need wood.
Okay.
Minecraft.
So what have you specifically learned? Right now you're kind of talking about what all kinds of other people on Earth could get out of video games and why it's a positive.
From Minecraft, like I've learned it has sharpened my imagination, creativity, and things that I can think about and do. I've also learned some stuff. Can't remember.
Right now, you making it seem like it's killing your mind, like you're losing brain cells on it.
No.
Because everything I ask you, like, I can't remember this.
No,
I can't remember that.
no.
I can't remember that. So you not really selling it, Moses.
No. It's not killing my brain cell. It's just I don't remember as much. Maybe it's like memory, or long-term memory.
So your short-term memory has nothing to do with all the video games that you've been playing.
I've had it before. I've been playing Xbox.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think.
Well, he forgets.
Any other question on the video games?
Okay. So, do I have any other questions for the video gaming? No. I agree that I think the other thing too is when I read your report, there was a portion on it that talked about motivation. Yeah. So you're a lot less.
Oh wait, no, I just remember something.
Okay.
Video games do help you with morals and consequences.
Okay, tell me
like,
about that.
There's games like Life is Strange or Life is Strange Before Storm or Life is Strange 2 that's just coming out. And there's like in Life is Strange, it'll help you like with the it's sometimes some games are based off the butterfly effect, which you doing this thing will affect the whole gameplay. And like it will teach you like if you eat one apple, you won't have that apple for in the future to give to your friend. If you save that apple, you'll have it to the future to give to your friend. It will increase his happiness.
Okay, I like that idea. I think Fallout 4 does a little of that too, right?
Yeah.
Like when you were in Fallout 4, when you was being mean and just killing stuff for no reason, then that really affected you later on in the game, right?
Yeah. There's a time in Fallout 4, I'm pretty sure I was curious, and I just like quick save right there, and it's like, what happens if I shoot him? And everybody starts shooting me. I'm like, okay, so I killed them all, and then I'm like, they're basically a part of my mission. So what do I do now?
Or remember how you in Fallout 4 you had the dog following you around, then all of a sudden you had a robot following you around. But I don't remember why that was.
Well, the robot and the dog are like companions. I like the dog because they both carry stuff for you, so they're like a second inventory, plus they do help you. The robot, I don't remember him doing much.
Okay, so what do you learn from all these games where you end up killing and harming people? Like, for instance, the one game where they had your tool was all the rats. Like the rats could attack the people. What was the name of that game?
I've warned actions that have consequences. Dishonored?
Yeah.
Dishonored. And Dishonored does have to do with consequences and also morals because it's a assassin game. And inside Dishonored, there you have choices. If you want this person to die, if you want this person to live, if you kill one person, it could affect the story. If you kill and save people, if you go straight on killing everybody, if you just go straight on not killing everybody, if you just go straight through the whole mission without doing much or killing.
So there's consequences for all your decisions.
Yeah, there's consequences in Dishonored, and there's also consequences in Dishonored for, like, if you choose, there's also, if you, like, yeah. Oh, if there's, like, many bosses or assassination targets you have to assassinate, but you also could, not assassinate them. You also have choices for them. But if you You have choices to assassinate them, which will have effects on life. Like if you don't assassinate a certain target, they might give you certain materials in the future to help you with the final boss, or they might give you something. And so that's all I have to say on Dishonored. I'm not that much of a person who like talks about lore or any other about the graphics. I just want a person that just wants to play the game for fun. And also I do like to play the game because to try to figure out lore. But okay, that's it. So, any other questions?
No, I don't have any more questions about the. I think there was something I was trying to ask you about. Oh, motivation.
Mm-hmm.
So the video game. I remember when I was reading your report. I think there was a part on your report that talked about motivation, like a person being more motivated to, I guess, do other things in life because it was something fun instead of always having to just
like the endings of this motivation.
Well, maybe not motivation in the game, but you being more motivated to do other things because you have the freedom to play games. So,
yeah.
Okay. So what do you think your life would be like without gaming? Like if I just said, forget it, no video games for the rest of the month or the rest of the year.
I'm trying to think. Oh. Well, I wouldn't have much of sportsmanship. I wouldn't have any. Oh, also in gaming, you can have something to cope with real life problems.
It gives you coping mechanisms.
Yeah, coping mechanisms. I wouldn't have anything to take out my anger with because there's games like Doom, which has a lot of blood and killing, and you can just pretend they're your enemies, like pew 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 pew. And
so you're less likely
to be less
to
aggressive.
fight somebody because you know you can go home and play the video game and do the fighting there on the game.
Maybe that's why I got in trouble in Indiana, because I didn't have any Xbox.
Oh, okay. So it keeps you out of trouble.
Yes.
That's how you. Okay. All right. Well, speaking of trouble, I think we're gonna take a quick break and then come back and talk about
bullying.
Trouble.
Evil trouble.
Trouble.
This is Moses.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to One Drop Elopes on IntellectualRadio.com, hosted by me and my mom. One Drop Elopes is a constructive response to white supremacy, which is racism. We want to see everyone free. One Drop Elopes chief sponsor is Bonita's Homemade Things, where you can get scrumptious cakes, delicious cookies, and colorful hats and scarves. Join us every Sunday on One Drop Elopes on IntellectualRadio.com. 12 noon Sunday Central. Call in at 708-223-8953. 708-223-8953 to share your thoughts and opinions about our show.
Yeah. Let's go. You see the pain up in my ass. Something so much to me fast. If I take off, would it be a surprise? Or would it be just to the edge? Just take a thing that says you was alive. And just remember that your family bled. And what you do is gonna be a surprise. Cause you never know who I was wedging. Man, I really started from the basement. And the in the basement. Tell me when I come up, supposed to get amazing. It's been so many years and I'm still not amazing. I'm 21 and got no baby. I don't know if I'm happy and it seems so crazy. They always told me, boy, it's gonna be hard. Just don't break the rules and play your part. I always felt like, why should I believe them? Whoever believe them, person wanna leave them. They always told me, boy, it's gonna be hard. Just don't break the rules and play your part. You see the pain up in my ass. that you is alive. And just remember that your family waits. And when you do, it's gonna be a surprise. Cause you never know who I was raised. I'm tired of doing that I don't want to. Oh God. Hey God, what's the purpose of life? Ready? Yeah. That's a Biggie album, but I swear all eyes on me. That's an Amaro album. Pop. Yeah, I'm the new pop. Say the wrong, my run up in your spot. They found my sock. This ain't no little pop. This a pop. But I'm straight, so don't play and get out my way. You see that pain up in my ass. Smoking so much, don't need no bassy. If I take off, it'll be a surprise. Or would it be just to the daisy? Just take a dentist that you is alive. And just remember that your family waiting. And when you do, it's gonna be a surprise. Cause you never know who I was raising.
Hi. Welcome back to One Drop of Lips. I hope you got your popcorn. That was Charzo and Gala. Hard.
That's the name of the song.
One Drop of Lips, IntellectualRadio.com.
Yeah, that song is called Hard by
Hard.
Charzo and Guala. So we're back on One Drop Elopes.
Now what was going to talk about?
And Moses is leading the day today.
Oh.
We trying to get him some good practice in on being a radio host on the radio show.
Mm-hmm.
And so his subject today is two different areas. One is
How gaming could be good for you.
and the other one is bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you gonna say about bullying, Moses? Moses said he don't know what to say about bullying. Okay, well let me start here. Let me ask you some questions. Do you feel like you've ever been bullied?
Sometimes.
Do you feel like you've ever been the bully?
Once.
Once on earth?
Once
You were the bully? Okay, tell me about that.
Well, maybe there could be a time where I hurt a kid, or I could have been rude to someone. And just once.
Did you do it intentionally?
It was either on purpose. I'm pretty sure it was on purpose.
Okay, so it was intentionally. And why would you do something like that on purpose?
Well, it would be like they were the bully and I bullied the bully.
Oh, so you bullied the bully?
Yeah.
So I think we need to maybe define bullying, because bullying is not just responding to negative things. So if somebody says something bad to you and then you turn around and say something bad back, then I would put that in a different category. I wouldn't put that in the category of bullying. I put that in the category of defensive or standing up for yourself or fighting back. Even though you may have fought back in an aggressive manner, that's not the same as bullying. Bullying, let me help you with this. The definition of bullying is it's a constant and repeated taunt.
Oh, okay.
So teasing, a lot of times, and especially within the Black community, we tease each other a lot.
I would say teasing.
But it's a kind of teasing is something you don't mind. Like if I'm like, man, Moses, look at that blue shirt you got on. Why you got on blue with the black? Right? Like that would be teasing as long as it doesn't bother you. But if every single day I say to you, look at your clothes, look at your clothes, look at your clothes, and I'm constantly saying it to you every day, I'm saying it several times a day, and you don't like it each and every time, you never, ever, ever like it, then that tease ends up becoming a taunt. And taunting is what bullying is.
I didn't know there's a difference between tease and taunt.
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 Taunt. So taunting, so bullying can be verbal or it can also be physical. So a constant and repeated taunt or constant and repeated aggressiveness or constant and repeated nasty, dirty looks, that all can be considered, because it's constant and repeated violence is what it is. But violence is on the spectrum from looking at somebody crazy all the way up to actually hurting a person physically. And the hurt can range from tapping, touching, kicking, hitting, punching, all the way up to killing. But if you can't kill somebody every day, once you kill somebody, that's it, it's over. So killing would end up moving into a different category. We wouldn't call a killer a bully.
What if you killed somebody?
Then you'd be called a killer.
Wait. What if you stabbed them and they died, and like right before, after they died, you somehow maybe they got shocked by lightning, which something that brought them back together, and the doctor healed them, and then you killed them again.
So if you kill them today and you kill them tomorrow, you still would be labeled a killer.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be labeled a bully. A bully is somebody who basically does everything up to except for
killing,
but they do it on a repeated basis, and the person who's receiving this
bullying
treatment doesn't like it.
Okay.
And for whatever reasons, they can't. The other thing too, I think about bullying is you have to be a particular person to be bullied. Like, for instance, if you have good friends, people are sticking up for you, you have a lot of confidence, you don't really care what other people say, then you're less of a target and less likely to be bullied.
Okay.
Oftentimes, the person being bullied is somebody who is, for lack of a better phrase, weak. You know, they are having a harder time sticking up and standing up for themselves, or they don't have any friends, or they're
ill,
emotionally very concerned. Yes.
Or mentally disabled, or physically disabled.
Yes, they could also be not necessarily weak, but vulnerable. Yeah. That's a better word to use. They could be vulnerable. So when you want to talk about bullying, are you feeling like there are others around you who take advantage of people's vulnerabilities? Like, what are some of the vulnerabilities that you see in school?
There are some people who just call you gay and not do anything about it, which they would think that would maybe defeat you.
So if somebody is repeatedly calling you gay, that causes a lot of people to go into a very vulnerable place, because a lot of people don't like being teased in that way. And it also targets a person's sexual orientation, whether the person has defined or decided what their sexual orientation is. But it's also one of the greatest insults among the youth today. Like, almost everybody, if somebody around you, for instance, when you guys hear that word, if somebody says that around you, how do you feel? Let's go with that. Like, what's the emotion that you experience?
Why would you call me gay? It's the first thing I would think of. And two, the second thing I would think of is a giant comeback to call him gay. And the fourth thing I would think of is he gay. Or if I call him gay, he would call me gay again.
So, okay. So the immediate thoughts that you have is, one, to why?
Yeah.
And two, defend myself. Right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as you defend yourself by using the same slur against him that he used against you. And three, you also think about the fact, well, maybe he's saying that because that's how he feels about himself, and he's trying to.
So I would either defend myself or just like walk away. It would either defend myself, walk away, or just sit there and think, why?
One of the things that I've learned is the greatest defense against bullies, people who use these regular slurs in a taunting way, is to, one, have friends, and two, be confident. Like, literally, if it doesn't bother you, you're able to keep it moving and keep on going. And I know it's not easy to not be bothered by it, because what happens if you don't respond? Then everybody else in the class, what do the other people in class do if you don't respond? Do they accept his label of you?
No, they just... Nobody else would do anything. I think everybody else would be doing their work, and I would be doing my work, and he would just look up to me like, "You gay," or I would.
Just out the blue, he just calls you that.
It would be out the blue, or I would say something, and then he would change it into something I didn't say and say "you gay," or I would do something like I would be in the vicinity of him. He's like, back off, man, get off me, you gay, you gay.
So what? Why do you think you of all people would be a target for this?
I don't think it's just me.
So he does that to everybody.
I would think it would be the whole class. It's like I have no idea why, but they call him gay and still be friends for some reason. And they keep calling him gay and still be friends. I don't know if they're friends or frenemies or frenegays. Frenegays.
I never heard that phrase, but okay. But if they were friends with actual homosexual people, I don't think that they would use that phrase. It would be the equivalent of.
I mean, like frenegays, but like call himself gay back and forth. Maybe it's like a compliment that I don't know.
It doesn't feel like a compliment.
I know
though.
it doesn't feel like a compliment.
Then it's not a compliment. If it was a compliment, it would feel like one.
Yeah, I know. I'm being sarcastic.
Now, here's the thing that I'm wondering. Is it actually really bullying or just this? Okay, definition of bullying, a constant taunt. Because you don't like it when he says it the first time. So it's not teasing anymore. It's taunting. And he's not stopping. You ask him to stop and he won't stop. He just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming and coming at it. Have you ever asked him, stop, don't call me that? Have you tried that?
Yeah.
And the response to that is just to keep doing it?
I'm like, I've tried to say, I've said, why do you call me gay? Are you gay? Are you secretly gay? And he would be like, nah, I'm not gay. That's gay for calling me gay. There's too much gay words just flying at each other.
It's all the time.
And we just like maybe go into calling you gay battle. But just like just a rap battle, just throwing gay words at you, like, oh, you're gay, or no, you're more gay because you did such and such, and you're gay.
What about okay. When I was a kid growing up, there was definitely slurs thrown around, but not to the degree that I think you have to deal with. Like even your older sister was saying, oh, at that school they're just always bad like that with name calling. So hopefully maybe it'll just last the couple years that you're there.
The main thing they just say is gay. Like you can't come up with anything better than gay.
Maybe this speaks towards a lack of. Are they smart? These smart people doing that? Are they getting good grades?
It's mainly the boys. So
some boys are smart, some aren't. But is this one of the
smart boys too?
See, I would guess that more than likely, a lot of times the reason why a person becomes a bully because they don't have anything else. Like they're lacking in other areas. Like for instance, they might be lacking with their academic skills, maybe lower than others, or they not dressing as well as the other people in class, or they're not groomed as well as other people in class. So they pick with other people because of whatever pains they're experiencing by the things that they lack. I've seen that before too. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, because like for instance, if you had everything that you need, then why would you sometimes really, really rich people bully, but that's because they're lacking love and emotion or they're missing things. Mm-hmm. You know, they might have the money, but they don't have everything else. You know, that's just maybe we can put, if anybody's listening on Facebook, if you have any idea of why the youth want to bully each other and why are they using the slur gay? And that's a very good question. If you guys are listening or watching on Facebook or YouTube, well, nobody has responded to that. We maybe should have asked that question before we even started the conversation, and then maybe we would have some responses. But Why is the worst slur on earth? And why is it repeated so much in junior high? Just repeatedly over and over and over. And then you've even asked the question. You've said to them, why are you doing this? Like, why? And they still just say, people bully others just because they are different. That's what one person said. That's what
one person said.
That's Val Stokes. That's his response. People just do it just because they're different. But here's the thing: at your school, like Mr. Stokes, the school we talking about is right up the street from our house. Mr. Stokes is one of our neighbors, and the school we talk about, Moses is now going to the school, and a lot of the people at the school are the same. They're all black people, all around the same age. All coming from, most of those children are coming from, if not 2-parent homes, like maybe
I don't think they're all around the same age. There's some 7th graders which are 13 years old.
So they might be a year or two older.
Yeah.
Because they may have repeated or something like that. Yeah, well, you cannot use race as a difference because they all the same race. So you can't use that. But you could use, I guess, different shades, complexion. Like I remember when Moses first described the person who was calling him this, he was the complete opposite of Moses. He's a different shade, a different size, a different, wears different clothes, that kind of thing.
Fatter.
Yeah, he's bigger than Moses.
Fattest. The fatter.
Is he the fattest boy in school?
Yeah.
He's the fattest one in your class?
Yeah, he's the fattest one.
He might be picking with
like,
you.
It's like it's a level between the super, super skinny girls and then the super, super skinny boys. And then there's the fat girls. And then there's just me, which is like I'm in between fat and regular. And then there's fat, which is the
fat boys.
One of the fat boys. And then there's super, super fat, which, boy, they call me gay. Like, fat.
So he may be kind of insecure about his size.
If you're listening, boy, or Kyle, you're fat.
Most don't be calling people's names on the thing. But
If
like,
you're
so
listening.
that it could also be that when you're in a vulnerable spot and you know that you're so different from everybody else and that you really don't fit in order to fit in, you might try and harm people before they start harming you. Like I have noticed people bullied for that reason too. Like they're just like, before you can mess with me, let me mess with you type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what was your first day like? When you first started, were you quiet? Was you
Like,
talkative?
I just walked into the building. We sat there. And then there's people just look at me like, ooh, he's so fancy. It's just a first day of school. Why are you so fancy? Just no need for fanciness.
No need for fanciness.
And then
well, everybody comes to school clean on the first day, right?
Yeah, but there's some people just like stripped on random clothes.
Okay.
That make no sense. And so after we get inside, I'm pretty sure the first word I hear someone calling them gay was like right before we get inside. Like nobody could not call anybody gay without getting straight in there.
And see, this is a really different thing for you because it's not something that you're used to. Out of the other schools that you've attended up until this point, you went to a independent African school.
Indiana did call people gay, but it wasn't that much. They also had more stuff to say.
Oh, okay. They had other slurs besides that one.
Yeah, besides that one. It would be like, this school's just like calling you gay.
Were there any slurs when you went to independent African school? Do you remember anybody giving those kind of slurs, or it probably wasn't tolerated? But what do you remember from that?
It's just regular. It's just like plain. There was not. I don't remember any. I maybe remember was one time where somebody was like, "Boy, you so slow," or "Boy, you're slow," or "Boy," or something. Boy.
Yeah, I think maybe the worst thing that happened to you at independent schools was somebody would say something like, "Get a lining," or something like that on your hair.
Like, how worse is that? How bad is that compared to be calling gay? Like, get the lining. Okay, sure. Just get the lining.
But other than that, they didn't really mess. They was just like, get a lining.
And then, like, I come back was like,
And then you had your lining when you came back.
I'm like,
This-
okay,
this-
I think I have something in my hair. I got a lining.
so you can't talk about me today. I got a lining now. Oh, okay. Val, he said something else too. Mr. Stokes say, understand, but it's about familiarity. He's new to the group who has been there for a minute, and he also probably speaks differently from those who are trying to be cool. So yeah, you have your differences, Moses,
I
from
do
them.
have my differences.
Right.
Oh, someone else is watching too.
Yeah, we have a lot of people watching. Thanks to everybody watching on Facebook.
Oh, another person just joined in after a person just started joining.
I went to college with her. That's Erica Malone. Yeah, we're talking about bullying, and we also earlier today talked about all the good reasons why you should let your children play video games. It's not a bad thing. It's actually okay.
It's kind of
Playing
okay,
video
except
games.
for some video games.
And your aunt was watching, and Nicolia, she was there for a little
the only
bit.
video game
Benjamin
that
Franklin,
you
Jamal Williams.
shouldn't let your kids play GTA.
Why should they not be allowed to play GTA?
You keep telling me that it makes no sense. It has senseless violence.
Senseless violence is what I say.
You would just walk into a bank and just shoot everybody up for no reason, not just to get the money. And there would be times where you just be on the street and you're like, oh, I have so much stuff in my inventory. I need to just use these bombs. And there would be a normal white or black citizen right there, just going on his day, about to go with his family, about to see his child for the first time, going to the hospital. And it's like, stick a bomb.
For no reason.
No reason.
So that's just it, Moses. I think as a parent, I don't think it's important for me to just censor everything on earth. I've decided that my strategy in parenting is not to just have a shelter you, or to say, okay, I don't want you to ever hear a curse word. I don't want you to ever. I think it's too late to never hear a curse word. Right. That's just not the kind of parent I am. The kind of parent I am is the one that says, look,
there has to be violence for a reason.
Yeah, there's a balance. There's good and evil. There's all kinds of stuff on earth. But
also GTA does have some homosexual stuff.
Homosexual. They have sexual stuff, period, in GTA. Yeah. So that's another reason. But it's not the, like, for instance, if it was a video game that talked about love and building families and marriages, then I would support that kind of sexual stuff. But I don't want to support sex for no reason. Not for a 12-year-old. I don't want to support that. I don't want you watching that. I don't want my 12-year-old to just be killing people for no reason. Like, if there's a monster coming after you, you have to defend yourself. Mm-hmm. And that relates back to what we're saying about the bullying. When it comes to bullying in school, I don't want you to, like, somebody comes up and just starts taunting you, that you just start hacking at them for no reason violently. But if somebody says something to you, there's a proper channel. Like, the school would like for you to tell somebody, like, so and so is bothering me and he won't stop bothering me. But I think that there's a certain code that you need to honor among your peers. There's got to be another place where you go first. You need to learn how to deal with it yourself on your own. Like, you've got to be able to accept, okay, for instance, what I'm saying is, how are you going to survive within that environment? And that environment may become a healthy environment for you if you constantly always telling on the people there. So I just don't see it. Like, if you constantly, every single time somebody does something that you don't like, you constantly running and telling the teacher, they're going to keep telling. I mean, they're going to keep doing it. Number one, they're not going to stop. They're like, oh, we know how to push his buttons, and now we're going to do it in private. We're going to make it worse. I think the best way for it to end is for you to ignore it. That's my favorite one. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think, Moses?
Well, there's a lot of things I'm thinking about food, because you have not fed me. And I'm also thinking about what you just said. Well, I just really think you're right.
Well, do you feel like you should be telling on this boy who keeps keeps calling you gay?
It's not that much of a problem. There has been a couple times where when I called him gay, he would just
Hit you?
he would hit me. It wouldn't even hurt that much. Like he would Like, maybe if it was a girl, the girl would be like, he hit me. But like, he just hits me on the shoulder. So I'm like,
you just ignore it.
Dad.
Next time he hits you on the shoulder, you could be like, that love tap. But no, you might not want to say that because then he probably would call you gay again. Like, be like,
bro, I'm not in love with you.
Or maybe like you'd be like, did a mosquito just bite me or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think laughter is another good way of getting out of that kind of stuff too, like cracking jokes or just.
Oh, so funny. Mm.
You'll figure it out, Moses. I know you will.
You're not even stronger than Boy Dan.
Okay, let's go to another quick musical break. Just a real quick musical break. And
is it gonna be Charles Gola?
Yeah, it's because I still haven't changed it. I need to get in there and change it. I like Charzelle and Guala though. They got the Woke Up Lit. We're gonna listen to that next.
We woke up lit.
Thank you for listening to One Drop Elopes on IntellectualRadio.com. Hosted by me, Benita Asset. One Drop Elopes is a constructive response to white supremacy, which is racism. We want to see everyone free. The chief sponsor for One Drop Elopes is Benita's Homemade Things, where you can get scrumptious cake and delicious cookies, as well as colorful hats, scarves, and gloves. One Drop Elopes airs on IntellectualRadio.com every Sunday at 12 noon Central. Call in at 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. Now, back to our show.
We woke up late, whole time. 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 I woke up lit, 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 I woke up like this, hey, in my system, I feel so fabulous, hey, poppin', pop, I don't feel average, hey, I got a patch today, I got a patch today, I do the dashing race, I buy a bag of face, smoking on steak like I got me to my face, see that I'm litty, so she wanna give me a taste.
Welcome back to One Drop of Love on IntellectualRadio.com, hosted by me and my mom. Oh, I was about to say the whole thing.
That's cool.
That was Welcome Lit for Charles and Guala.
Well, thank you, Moses. We're closing out the show today.
Yes.
We had a great show. It's time for Moses to go and get something to eat. Just a recap on the show today. We talk about all the good reasons why you should let your children play video games, how healthy it can be, and then also how video games can actually prevent a person from getting into violence at school and other places, even though you think that it is a violent tendency, but it actually does the opposite because it causes a person to choose playing the game and being violent with the game instead of being violent with the actual person.
I'm starving to death.
Okay, we got to go.
I need you
Moses
to buy
hungry.
me some food. Buy me like some video games too. I need some mine coins.
Mine coins.
It's like the currency in Minecraft.
Oh, okay. All right. So thank you all so much for downloading this broadcast wherever you're at. Thanks, Earl. And thanks to the whole Intellectual Radio team. Moving on. Stay with us. We got another show coming up soon.
On Intellectual Radio, hosted by my daughter, Benita Asset. Benita Arset is on Instagram, Morris, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Email your thoughts, questions, concerns, or opinions to benitaarset@gmail.com. Benita will be happy to respond. Join Benita every Sunday at 12 noon on IntellectualRadio.com.